Hey, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. It's been a long time since we've done one of these videos, but this is a Total Divas review. I can honestly tell you that I have not watched Total Divas in a long time. I can remember probably the last episode that I watched that made me want to throw in the towel was explaining in the Total Divas universe the whole Stephanie and Brie match from SummerSlam, and that turning around into the Nikki versus Brie match, and them trying to actually say that the storyline that they were running was them really having friction in real life. I know that in the world of WWE, there's the WWE universe, there is the Total Divas universe, and sometimes they coexist, but for the most time, whoever is the writer of Total Divas, if it's somebody for, E! Entertainment or somebody actually in WWE, they just sort of take things that they can from the TV show and then they just roll them over into whatever they want it to be. I watched Total Divas because honestly, my girlfriend had it on the other day and I thought this would be a funny video to make because we haven't made one of these in a while. I did not watch any of Total Bella's season 1, but over the matter of like about a week, I binge watched Total Divas or Total Bella's season 2. I think that honestly, I like Total Bella's a lot more than I like Total Divas. I think that honestly, when it comes down to it, there's just characters on Total Divas that I don't want to see on my television, and just I don't care about them. But when it comes down to it, to me, John Cena and Daniel Bryan is enough to tie me in to sit through everything that Brie and Nikki do with JJ and the rest of the family. For the little time that we do get to see John and Daniel on there, I think it's pretty cool. I like that part. But for here, we watched season 7, episode 1, entitled This Is Make or Break. For season 7, we had a long list of people leave the show. We had Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Nia Jax join the mix, while we had Eva Marie, Paige, Renee Young all depart the show. Renee leaving is probably just, I don't know, I heard some people liked having Dean Ambrose on the show, and some people thought he was too much of a cartoon character on there. Paige is just going through a roller coaster of emotions. She should be returning to WWE sooner than later. I think that she is a wildly popular character. I would not be surprised if she does return to the show upon her return to the company. But who knows how much of her private life they will be able to shoot if she stays with Del Rio. And of course, Eva Marie finally leaving the company. What we are left with on this episode, I will say that it mostly revolves around Natalya, and she is going to be wrestling in the first ever Divas ladder match at Money in the Bank 2017. She is saying that she is wildly afraid of heights, and she feels that she's really going to destroy this match by not being able to climb the ladder, jump off the ladder, fall off the ladder. She feels if she climbs up, she's going to break her leg. So in order to train for this match, her and Jim the Anvil Neidhart take off, and they end up going to a local hardware store and buying some ladders, setting them up around the house, and her trying to get accustomed to climbing the ladders and gaining the heights. We see the member of the Usos and Naomi sort of hit a point in their relationship where they're stalling out, and they're looking for some sort of, I guess you can say, romance to spice things up. Jimmy ends up taking Naomi out for a night on the town. That ends up, pretty funny being set up, because at the time the Usos are the tag team champions, Naomi is the women's champion. So they're both saying that they're going to hit the town with their championship belts to show them off. Then they go to leave the house and they open the door. It is pouring down a Florida rainstorm, and they're not able to leave with their belts. They end up getting into the car, and immediately I noticed that Jimmy Uso is just basically wearing, I can't remember if it's a WWE Performance shirt or if it's a gray tap-out shirt with the sleeves cut off, while Naomi is dressed up pretty much to the nines. They do drive up to a local eatery, which ends up being a drive-thru, which Jimmy tries to put over as basically saying, you know, you can get anything here, and the food is always good. Naomi is pretty much disgusted that the drive-thru actually serves spaghetti, and she just wants no part of this, and Jimmy has to try and find a way to try and save the day. From there, basically, he takes her out on a tour of the Gulf Coast, where they actually go to Pensacola, and they go check out a haunted lighthouse. Naomi, I think, is still pretty much trying to freeze him out, not really feeling what is going on. He tries to cook her a home dinner, where at the end of the dinner, she ends up getting up to clear her plate and finds out that Jimmy actually went to the drive-thru place and bought the meal that they were having. He even bought the salad. He didn't even bother to make that. Meanwhile, we see the Monday Night Raw girls getting accustomed to their thing. We had Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, now members of the Monday Night Raw crew, sort of mixing in with Maurice. They're getting along really well until Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are going over their plans for their match that night. And I don't even know why Maurice is a part of this conversation, since she's not an active wrestler. And Nia makes the mistake of basically telling her to get out of their conversation because she's never been involved in a gauntlet match. And Maurice feels that this is Nia sort of knocking her for not being an active wrestler, not having a part of, you know, what is now called the Divas Revolution, where actually, Maurice goes back and she ends up talking to Miz and brings up points of Miz saying that the girls now have more chances, because basically when Maurice was wrestling, they gave her 3 minutes to go out there and tell her story and get her character over. Now the girls are actually being, like last year at Hell in a Cell, Sasha Banks and Charlotte got to wrestle in the main event of the show in the Hell in a Cell match. I honestly thought the show was good. It wasn't horrible. It definitely was longer than I do remember. The Bellas were in the background. Basically, Brie is getting accustomed to motherhood. Daniel Bryan is having to return to work after his maternity leave. Nikki Bella is taking some time off. She actually tried to get back on the road to replace Daniel Bryan as the SmackDown GM, which was going to buy Daniel some more time to be home with Brie, but that didn't really shake out, and he ended up having to go back to work, while Nikki has to wait out and see what the next thing that they want her to do is. I can honestly say I don't think John was on the show at all. Not even a phone call or a, the FaceTime conversation that they use sometimes on Total Bellas when he's out, doing his thing. So, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to end up watching more of these, and if these go over well, I'll give you some more reviews. This is Make or Break, Episode 1 of Season 7. Peace out, guys.